Hey everyone, welcome to the channel, and I'm here for another list video of uncommon Metalhead facts about me. This will be part 3. Now, the last time I've done one of these uncommon Metalhead list videos, it's been a long while ago, so I do realize that I've gained quite a few subscribers since the last time I've done one of these videos. So if you haven't seen the first two already, feel free to go check those out. This will be part 3. Let's go ahead and get started. Now, trigger warning. These are, of course, uncommon Metalhead facts about me. Therefore, they are unpopular, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first one I do want to start off with is probably one of the more triggering ones on this list. And it's that I think that Painkiller by Judas Priest is not one of the greatest metal albums of all time. Yeah, definitely shocking for some people, I'm sure. This is one of those albums that I do think is kind of overrated, to be honest. I don't think that this album is as great as some people make it out to be. Now, don't get it twisted. I do think it is a great album. Don't get me wrong. I think it's definitely a really great album and definitely one of the best Judas Priest albums. But one of the greatest of all time, not sure if I'd go that far. I mean, I know some people that would put it in the top 10, top 15 best metal records of all time, which I just personally wouldn't agree with that. Now, if you do, I don't see anything wrong with that, of course. I mean, you're allowed to like the album. I like the album, but I just think it's overrated. Again, just because I think it's overrated doesn't mean I don't like it. I think it's a great album. Now, I've heard some people say that the reason that this album is so beloved by people is because it's the fastest, the heaviest Judas Priest album, and, you know, this is something that still bothers me today about some metalheads. Like, it's sad how a lot of metalheads still to this day don't seem to get that heavier does not equivalate to better. Like, oh, this is the heaviest, that means it's the best. No, that's not the case all the time, you know? Like, heavier does not equivalate to better. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that some metalheads still to this day can't seem to wrap around their heads. So, that's something to consider for sure. But regardless, Painkiller by Judas Priest, great album. That's for certain. But I just think it's kind of overrated. And I don't think it's one of the greatest metal albums of all time, at least not top 10 or 15. Now, this second one, this second uncommon, unpopular fact, is not exactly triggering, it's just uncommon. That's all that it is. But it's that I think that Demon Hunter is one of the greatest metal bands to come from the 2000s. Now, this one may not come off as a surprise to some people. If you know me well enough, Demon Hunter is one of those bands where my bias meter can go really high up there, and for good reason. They were one of my first metal bands, so the nostalgia is definitely there for me with Demon Hunter. So, definitely one of those bands that mean a lot to me, and I'd personally put them in the top 3 favorite metalcore bands, which is also an uncommon, unpopular metalhead opinion. Now, for a while, I was kind of in debate on whether or not I should, or if that was just the nostalgia talking, or whatever, but even putting the nostalgia aside, I still really like Demon Hunter. I think they are a very unique band in the metalcore subgenre. They just, I don't know what it is about Demon Hunter's music, but they just do something for me that other metalcore bands just don't. I don't know if it's just the emotion in Ryan Clark's voice. Now, Ryan Clark is definitely one of the main reasons why Demon Hunter is a great band. I mean, there's a lot of people that can agree on that. He's got a really good voice, and I don't know, just really great band, a very underrated band as well. I've heard someone say before that they're overrated, but really, overrated? No, underrated. So yeah, I do think that Demon Hunter is a great band. Now, this third one I do want to mention. Now, this one, you could make the debate on whether or not this is exactly triggering. I'm sure some people might be mad at me for this one. I'm not sure. But it involves the band Pantera. Now, if you're a metalhead, there's a good chance that you know about the band Pantera. But I do think that when it comes to Pantera, this is the uncommon fact. I do think that their album, The Great Southern Trendkill, is better than Far Beyond Driven. Yeah, I know that's not a very popular opinion, so this is definitely one that had to make the list. Now, Far Beyond Driven, it's a great album, but like with Painkiller, I think it's an overrated album. But The Great Southern Trendkill, I actually think is one of Pantera's best. It's probably my second or third favorite Pantera album. I just know that my first would be Vulgar Display of Power, which to me is easily their best. But The Great Southern Trendkill, there's a lot of great songs on that album, like the title track, Floods, Drag the Waters. Come on now. Definitely a great album. Pretty heavy album too. So yeah, the unpopular opinion and uncommon metalhead fact is that I do think that The Great Southern Trendkill is better than Far Beyond Driven. Now, they're both great albums. That's for certain. Now, like I said, this could be a little debatable for it being a triggering opinion or whatever, because I think this is an opinion that maybe some people can understand a little bit. But I don't know. Both are great albums, though. That's all that matters, right? So, yeah. Now, the next thing I do want to mention, the next uncommon or unpopular opinion of mine is that I think nu metal is an overhated genre. Now, I've seen some metalheads say that nu metal is one of the worst metal subgenres, which I personally don't understand. I think it's mainly just some people that maybe have grown out of it, maybe. Now, I still like nu metal. I think it's a really good subgenre. Now, I will admit that nu metal is kind of hit or miss for me. There's some of it that I really love, but there's some of it I just cannot stand. But some nu metal bands that I really like are Linkin Park, Deftones, Sevendust. I mean, those are great bands. Deftones actually might be my favorite nu metal band. I'm not sure. Either them or Linkin Park, but I'm not sure. Either those two would be my pick for my favorite nu metal band. But nu metal, I think it kind of gets a bad rep. Not as bad as some people say it is. There's some really good bands to be found in nu metal, so definitely open up your mind to nu metal if you're not a fan of it. So yeah, I do think that it is kind of overhated, to be honest. Now, the next thing, the next uncommon, unpopular thing is definitely, well, another kind of triggering one, and it's that I think that Avenged Sevenfold is overrated. Now, this is also one that maybe some people can understand, but also it's kind of maybe triggering for some people. I'm not sure. But Avenged Sevenfold, I never said that they were a bad band. I just think they're overrated. I just don't think that they're as great as some people make them out to be. I do think that this band is very overrated, to be quite honest. But they, of course, have had some pretty solid albums, I guess, and some really great songs. I mean, some songs I really like from them are Unholy Confessions, Bad Country, Hail to the King, and Afterlife. Those are really good songs, but the band as a whole, they don't really do a whole lot for me, but I don't think they're a bad band, and they definitely have had some really good songs and, yeah, some pretty good material, but I just think they're overrated. They do lack replay value, at least to me. I know that there's maybe some people that listen to these guys a lot, which I personally don't know how you guys do it, because I honestly have a hard time going back to this band. But Avenged Sevenfold, not a bad band, but just a band that I just think is overrated, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. But there you have it. Avenged Sevenfold, overrated. That's my opinion. Now, the last unpopular, uncommon metalhead fact about me is also another band that I think is overrated. We're once again talking about Pantera. That's right, I think Pantera is an overrated band. Now, some people might say, that's it, Zach, turn in your metalhead badge, but no. No, I just think that Pantera is overrated. Once again, never said that they were a bad band, but I just don't think that they're as great as some people make them out to be. Like with Avenged Sevenfold, except not really. Except I think Pantera is a lot better than Avenged Sevenfold, but I don't really listen to them a lot either, though. You know, like, I think they're also a band that you can only really listen to once in a while. But when you do listen to them, it can definitely be a real treat to listen to, especially if you're in the mood for something heavy, but also has a classic traditional heavy metal influence. Pantera is the band to go to, that's for certain. Really good band, but I do think that they are overrated. But still, I think Pantera is definitely a noteworthy band and, you know, obviously a beloved heavy metal band in the metal community. But I just personally think they're overrated, but still not a bad band at all. So there you have it, guys. That is my list for Uncommon Metalhead Facts About Me, Part 3. So let me know what you guys think. Are there any uncommon metalhead facts or unpopular opinions that you might have? Let me know in the comments. What do you think of the lists that I've listed here? So let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. Take care.